Hello, how are you? You're on the Cesar Blue channel, and today I'm going to try traditional Italian food. And for that, I've come all the way to Genoa, in the north of Italy, the most important city in Liguria. This region, bordering Tuscany, is famous for its food. Among others, you've probably heard many times about pesto sauce, Genoese pesto. So here I am in Genoa, ready to enjoy the traditional food served at the restaurant behind me. It's called Cabourg Modo 21, and it's the most recommended restaurant in the city. Anyway, I hope they have a lot of food in there. 100% traditional and local, which is what I'm looking for, and something that can satisfy this hunger that's already making me cramp. So I'm going inside to see what's cooking. Since I'm already here, inside the restaurant of the Trattoria. It's very, very, very small. It has a couple of rooms, but they're tiny with a look, well, that's really old-fashioned. All the walls are decorated with drawings that some kids have made, and they really look like children's drawings. And well, it filled up right away. I came really early. It was 12 in the morning when I walked through the door, and nearly all tables are occupied. Let's check out the food they serve here. And the menu starts by explaining that the pesto sauce they use here is protected by the Denominazione di Origine Protetta, and that they make it according to the traditional recipe for Genoese pesto sauce. And another thing I love is that some of the dishes are marked with a logo that indicates it's a traditional recipe from Genoese Liguria, made strictly according to the standards of traditional food. So I think I'm going to find some new dishes, and above all, old school stuff, which is what I like. The daily specials are gallos, Mondays, mixed meats, Tuesdays, ravioli, Wednesdays, and specials on Thursdays and Fridays. Cod on Saturdays, spaghetti carbonara, and cod pie with baked potatoes on Sundays. They then continue with appetizers. They say they have Cuttlefish Portofino style. Portofino is a small town here in Genoa, with only 500 inhabitants, just a tiny fishing village. Well, so, Cuttlefish Portofino style. Capon magro, which is a kind of salad that's eaten here in this area. Another local dish, anchovies, squid tentacles, and also focaccia with Genoese-style pesto from the local area. They start with tagine, with egg and different kinds of lasagna. Trinette, which is a type of long, thin pasta, similar to spaghetti but with a certain shape, served Portofino style, which also comes with pesto. Anyway, on the other side of the menu, the first seafood dishes could easily be ravioli, or tagliatelle, or spaghetti. They also have milaneses, escalopes, or polpettone, which I would have translated as big octopus, but it's actually a meatloaf with potatoes and green beans, cod, squid, mussels. The meal concludes with desserts, including the traditional canestrelli, torta della nonna, grandmother's cake, panna cotta, tiramisu, and lemon sorbet. And now, if we've already looked over the menu enough, I'm really looking forward to starting to eat. And the party starts with Panissa, seasoned with spring onion, salt, and pepper. That is, with onion, salt, and pepper. Panissa is like a dough that they make with chickpea flour mixed with water and salt. That's right. Cooked, and the dish is a local specialty. Be careful, as I ordered wine and the wine they serve. Serving a glass. Not in a wine glass, but, well, at least they serve it to you at the table. It's a wine from the region of Golfo di Tigullio in Portofino a Ciliegolo. They put the bread in a little paper bag. Hey, the bread looks good, let's start eating. But really, this smells amazing. It's like a dough. Well, it's not bad, it tastes like... Right, like tofu. It's a fully vegan dish. As an appetizer, it's not bad. The prices are very cheap, but the portions are currently not very big, as you can see. And it's kind of interesting. I had never tried panessa, chickpea flour, or anything like that. Wow, the onion really has a kick, and the bread is really good. A small glass of wine reminds me of the wine my grandparents used to drink in their village, just like this. The glass was always covered with paper or something to prevent flies or anything else from getting in. Simple table wine. I enjoy trying new things that I've never tried before and that I end up liking. Not a bad experiment. My experiment of trying it, not that it's an experiment itself. The dish, because as I said, it's part of the traditional cuisine of the area. Anyway, a little bit of bread and let's continue. And this is the cuttlefish dish. Cuttlefish Portofino style, cuttlefish with weight. It's grilled. Here on the little signs I've seen on the walls, they talk about the fish, the seafood, saying that it's very fresh fish. Well, we're right next to the port. Let's see how it looks. It has dried tomato, indeed, dehydrated tomato. And my first contact with my favorite pasta sauce, which is this sauce. What an amazing sauce. Pesto sauce contains basil, olive oil, and Parmesan cheese, which originates from Parma, about 100 kilometers from here. Pine nuts and pecorino cheese as well, meaning they mix cow cheese with sheep cheese. Pecorino cheese is, I think, a Roman cheese. And well, let's go finally. The pesto is delicious. Let's finally try the cuttlefish. It's so tender. Wow, it's really good and tasty. With the pesto sauce, well, that's a good thing. I'm gonna try everything together with the pesto sauce, and with the tomato, it's much better. Normally in Spain, I've seen that they serve pesto sauce in restaurants and at home, always with pasta, sometimes on a pizza, but never like this. I had never tried it with cuttlefish. I like the idea. Hey, I like the prices. I think it's the cheapest restaurant on the route, and let me tell you, the pesto, without a doubt, is the best I've ever had at a restaurant. Never. It's delicious, but it's delicious. In fact, I've ordered several dishes with pesto. And that's it for the next one with text. And now let's go with the Trofie to the Trofie text. This pasta is a staple in Ligurian cuisine, originating from Carnogli and Bogliasco in the Genoa province. It has a curly shape and it's served with pesto. As you can see, obviously, they make the pasta by hand. It comes with potatoes and green beans. Honestly, it's a recipe I've never tried in my life. And look, they also give you little packets of grana padano so you can add more cheese if you want. Brother, anyway, let's see. Pasta with green beans and potatoes. Where have you ever seen that? Oh, what madness. This is really ultra delicious. What a delicious thing. But anyway, the pasta is al dente. It has an impressive amount of pesto. How delicious is the pasta with beans? But how much do I still have to learn? Well, much more than I know, of course. It's spectacular. This recipe is a 10, really a 10.
Let's go.
For me, I would stay another day in Genoa. Since now I'm going to Monaco after lunch, I would stay another day in Genoa just to order this dish. The potato is very tasty, the basil flavor is delicious, and the pesto sauce is delicious. I'm going to pour the whole packet of grana padano on here. How funny, huh? The cheese they give you here for the pasta?
Eat the cheese, there's never enough.
Yesterday on my way from Bologna, I passed through Parma. At the gas stations, they only had cheese and pesto-related products. And I didn't stop in Parma because the only museum I saw about how cheese is made was closed. This is delicious. Portions are not excessively large, just the right size, so you can have 2 or 3. But when something is this good, the amount is never enough. James Bond has a movie titled The World Is Not Enough, which conveys a similar message. When it comes to something delicious, the amount is never enough. Anyway, let's go with bread on bread. Bread. And we continue. I had never tried this either. Pesto lasagna. There was the lasagna and the lasagnette. The lasagnette was different because it was just the lasagna pasta made into little balls and with pesto. And the lasagna itself, well, here you see it with pesto. I think what it has inside is pesto. It doesn't have any meat or anything because all I see here is bechamel and pasta. Oh, it makes me laugh. Exactly, it doesn't have any meat. It's a lasagna with pesto. Let me tell you something. A lasagna without meat and tomato? I'm at a loss for words. It's like a sandwich made of bread without any filling. Well, it has bechamel, it has pesto, it's really good. But when you mix the pesto with the bechamel, it really takes a back seat. I like it, but it's something really strange, extremely strange. This is something I don't think I'll have again.
It's an average greasy dish. We'll see how my digestion fares this afternoon.
The pesto, I insist, really brightens up your life. I'm seeing that it goes well with a lot more things than I ever would have thought. Pesto is a sauce.
Man.
Spain, especially for some reason I don't know. Basil is really expensive, and pine nuts are also very pricey. I do know that they require a lot of work to harvest and so on. But if it's cheap pesto, just know that with some ingredient, read them carefully, they're tricking you. Pesto ingredients like parmesan, pecorino, olive oil, basil, and especially pine nuts are all expensive. Anyway, this one, just as it says on the menu, is truly authentic. I'm at the place for Genovese pesto in Genoa, and this is a real treat. I'll continue. I couldn't leave Genoa without going for some good rabbit. Ponentina style rabbit, traditional recipe. It looks like it has a bunch of pine nuts, some olives, and a sprig of rosemary to give the rabbit some flavor. As the funny guy Argugnano would say, I love rosemary, I love rabbit, and I love that it has so many pine nuts. Wow, what a sauce, what a stew! And what a big rabbit, look at that huge leg it's got.
Since it's so big it might end up a bit dry, there's nothing worse than dry rabbit.
It's good and juicy, I really enjoy the sauce in this stew. Are these olives, or what are these little balls? Are they small olives? I'm surprised again by the combinations, not just because they put olives with rabbit, but because they come with the pit. This is my favorite part, the skirt part. It's a 10, it's a 10.
The recipe. This has white wine, very well cooked onion, garlic. You can tell it was made very slowly and it turned out very juicy.
Italian style rabbit.
All the sauce with the broth is pure flavor. How did the meat absorb the flavor?
By the way, are the dishes perfectly salted? Every table has a salt shaker. I don't know if it's in case you want to add more, but I think it's fine. I'm not sure about the salt though. I know that in Italy there are places where the food is just a bit saltier. The saltiest meals I've ever had were in Rome, during a conversation with Pino Prestonich one day. I even think he told me something about this, or maybe I'm making it up, but it sounds familiar. About having talked about it with him, right? Is the stew really good? The rabbit is huge, isn't it? I've never seen such a big rabbit. The stew is all onions, which have released their juice. What a treat. Hey, I love the idea of having a protected designation of origin for stews and recipes. It's a great concept that you can say, hey, this is made according to the parameters of traditional cooking. This dish is traditional. This dish represents us because they're all dishes from the local province. I don't know how many countries I visited on this journey, and I've only found that here, in Spain. Nothing, of course, not in France, not in Switzerland, not in Finland, not in Norway, not in Sweden. I've been traveling and eating out for days, but haven't found what I'm looking for. Oh, the little leg. Are these and the Trofie really the best of today? By far. Very, 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 very attentive service. They're always attentive at every table, asking questions, serving with joy. The pine nuts. Let me tell you something. Are all of these from here? But I like them more. Well, maybe they're from here, but allow me to have my doubts. I like the ones from my hometown more.
At least the memory I have of pine nuts from Santiuste and Segovia.
At least that's the memory I have. I find it a little less tasty, but well, what is really super tasty is the stew itself. I'm really impressed with this rabbit. It's the biggest one I've ever eaten. The sauce is incredible. It's so juicy. Perfect amount of salt, perfectly cooked, perfectly prepared. How bad are prejudices? Because when I arrived and saw the restaurant, how simple it is. There aren't any big luxuries here. It's old, it's not the chic, modern, super clean, and super sophisticated place you might be looking for when you travel to eat. I mean, it's not attractive at all, but watch out because the dishes are amazing. I mean, this level of cooking and these dishes don't match what I see here. Well, the chairs are like this, very basic, like terrace chairs. Everything is decorated very simply, but with amazing food. So, forget the prejudices. Anyway, let's continue. I couldn't resist and I ordered several desserts. What you're seeing here is the mascarpone cream with a chocolate center. How does it look? I also ordered a panna cotta, and they asked me if I wanted it with caramel, chocolate, or cream, and I chose caramel. And the typical dessert here is canestrelli with pinocchino toc muscatel. Canestrelli are a type of cookie that is very popular throughout Italy, especially in the Piedmont area, and here in Liguria. These are Ligurian canestrelli, which are cookies shaped like daisies, made with a short crust pastry. Anyway, I don't know where to start. Okay, I'll start with the canestrelli. Here are canestrelli with muscatel. And the typical butter cookie. The ones we've always had, like those that come in the assorted packs in the typical blue tin of butter cookies. You know, the classic blue tin. The ones that mothers later used as sewing boxes. Well, we have to say it has fizz, it has strength. Anyway, let's go with the mascarpone cream. Let's see how it goes with dark chocolate. Wow, it has at the bottom like a chocolate cream. It's really good. This is an extreme mascarpone addiction, to which they've also added butter. The dessert is cold, what a good thing. And the panna cotta means cooked cream in the translation. A very typical dessert all over Italy. I wouldn't have added it. Neither caramel nor anything, it's the typical caramel from the caramel sauce jars. The panna cotta is delicious. Let's say it's like a flan. But instead of being made with milk, it's made with cream. It's really good. In fact, the panna cotta is the one I like the most out of the three.
Although nothing beats the fact that you've made it this far. Thank you very much for that.
If you enjoyed the video, give it a super like. Subscribe and ring the whole notification bell so YouTube lets you know about the next video. That's all for today. See you at the next restaurant. Goodbye.